There we go. So if you don't mind, keep yourself muted on your end. And if you have a question, you can raise your hand, or best way to do it is just to type any questions in the chat to Gold Crown. My name is Jeff Petty. I am the Director of Sports Operations here at Gold Crown. I'm sure some of you recognize me. I've been working here for quite a while and helping out with the volleyball program, but we recently made a new hire, and I will let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm April Thompson. I've also been working with Gold Crown for a while, more on the basketball side, but I'm really excited to be a part of this volleyball program, and we are really excited to get it growing and serve your kids.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here.
So obviously this is a new thing for us, trying a Zoom meeting. Over the past month or so, April and I have fielded a lot of questions. They range from different topics, and we thought that this might be the best way to kind of get everything focused on in one area and let everybody ask their questions so everybody can see and hear what those questions are. Real quick, for those of you that don't know, Gold Crown has offered a volleyball program since we built our facility in 2003. The offerings have changed and evolved over the years. Right now we are focused on our fall program that we've always offered, which is middle school, but it goes down. In recent years, we've decided to offer more to 5th and 6th grade as well. So this fall, we have 2 different leagues that we're going to offer. Our main kind of, if you want to call it, the volleyball flagship program, which is our competitive league. And then probably about 5 years ago, we decided to offer what we call as a youth development league. So it's designed for girls or players. By the way, there are boys that are allowed. We do offer for boys. It is worth noting that probably each year we only have maybe 10 to 15 boys that participate, but they are welcome. Anyways, back to the offerings. We have the Youth Development League is designed for players that might be new to the sport or maybe who don't have a team. And that league itself is an individual-based registration. So the players, they don't need to be associated with a team. They can show up and register on our website, and they do not be, like I said, they don't need to be affiliated with a team. They pay the fee, and then as the event gets closer and registration closes down, we then start to lump the players together. First based on grade, but second based on if they have a teammate request or if there's other kids that maybe go to their same school or something like that, we will form them into a team. That is we do ask for volunteer coaches. So if there is a parent who's willing to coach their daughter, we will be very happy if you do that. Our competitive league is a little bit different. Like I said, that's kind of our flagship volleyball program. That league is designed for teams to show up. They form independently from us and they sign up as a team and participate. The registration is still, each player still registers, but again, the coach will register the team first in our system, and then they will invite the players to come and sign up, pay the fee, and they will be added to the team roster. So those are our 2 fall programs. Throughout the year, we do offer other camps. We are looking at offering a new winter league this year. We have a spring league that we have. So that's kind of our volleyball offerings in a nutshell. Obviously, we're focused mostly on fall here today in our conversation. So if there's questions along the way, like I said, it looks here. We got ahead of time. How do we find a team? So, okay, so we'll kind of jump into that first question. So how does someone find a team? So if you're an individual, mostly April is in contact with the various programs that are participating in our competitive league. Again, that's the league where you have to be associated with a team before you register in our league. April's been in contact with most of those programs. It is still a little early. As you guys all know, school hasn't started back up yet. Most of the programs are waiting to finalize tryout dates and practice dates. So they're waiting for the administrative staff to get back into school, which has been over the past week or so. So we're expecting here in the next week or so to learn more about the tryouts for those programs, and we will then post those tryout information on our website. Now, it is worth saying that not every high school that's around town has a program. So it's more of kind of a regionalized thing. So I'll use Chatfield and Columbine for an example. Columbine hasn't had a program in a few years, but Chatfield has. So if there's somebody from Columbine that's wanting to play, we will funnel them in the Chatfield direction. And then, like I said, if the competitive league doesn't work out, if there's a team that's, I'll use Aurora for an example. There's not very many Aurora programs that participate in our competitive league. So if somebody were to contact us from Aurora, we would funnel them to the development league, because that's kind of, come one, come all. Anybody can participate, and we'll find them a team to participate within that league. So hopefully that answers that question.
And we will post those, but you can also email me as well. And I'm trying to get this information. I know it's frustrating, like Jeff said, with the coordinators, but I can try and give you the coordinators' information too. Sometimes that helps if they hear from an individual person. And so feel free to email or call me as well. Like I said, we're really working on this, and we're hoping to get everyone where they need to be.
Yep. So on that note, again, the competitive league is obviously designed for the experienced player, and the development league, like I said, is more for entry level, but there are some competitive level players that will participate in that. Again, a lot depends on where they come from around town. I see a question here about if there's a player playing on a team, on a Gold Crown team, can they play on any other team? Is that the only one that she can play on? So we do have a roster rule in place where a player cannot play in the same division within the same league. Karina, I don't know if that answers your question, but they essentially, if your daughter is participating for the Conifer team, and then she's also playing on the Evergreen team, and Conifer and Evergreen play each other, for example, where's your daughter going to play? So we do have a rule in place where they cannot play within the same division. Now she can play up in a different grade, or she can also play in the development league as well. She can play for the Conifer team in competitive league and also the development league. So I don't know if that answers your question, but let me know if that doesn't. I see a question here about Summit and Dakota Ridge.
Dakota Ridge has informed us they will have teams for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. She has not told us when the tryouts will be, but they have told us they will have teams. I will try and firm up with them when their tryouts will be and get that information to you, Kim, but they have confirmed with us that they will have teams.
And Monica, I see, is there a competitive league for middle school? So yeah, it is our league that we're talking about. We run that competitive league. And it's for 6th through 8th grade. We do allow 5th graders to play up in that 6th grade division. So sometimes that 6th grade division is kind of a 5th, 6th combo. If a 4th grader were to call up though, we would deter them from wanting to do that. But anyways, that's kind of the grade range that we offer for our competitive league. If there's enough teams, we do have a gold and silver within the competitive league, meaning the gold teams will be the better of the two, silver will be the lower, but that is all kind of predicated on how many teams register. And each year is different. Some years 8th grade's got a bunch of teams, the next year 6th grade has a lot of teams. So it kind of ranges, and we won't know that until it gets a little bit closer. So, but we'll be in contact with the coach in terms of, hey, this is a new team, or maybe this is an experienced team that will be better suited for a gold division.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
It looks like there's kind of quite a few questions about asking about specific schools. Do you just want to talk broadly about the best way to find out if there's teams in certain areas?
Yeah. So April and I were talking this morning. I think the plan, so on our tryout page, starting this afternoon or maybe tomorrow, we will post the programs that will have teams. We may not have their tryout information yet, but it at least lets the general public know that, hey, for example, Evergreen, we've heard from them, they're gonna have a program. Dakota Ridge, they're gonna have a program. Conifer, so on and so forth. We can list all of those. I do see how they're coming through here. Do you know if there will be a competitive league in Evergreen? So it won't take place in Evergreen. That's actually, that leads me to my next point. So all of these leagues do take place at our facility, which is located in Lakewood. For those of you that are familiar with the Belmar Shopping District, we are about a mile east of there off of Alameda and Harlan. But all of this will take place at our facility. So even though in the competitive league, you may play for an Evergreen team, Evergreen, they will have their practices. And again, this is for competitive league. They will have their practices in the Evergreen area, but on Sundays, the teams will then travel to our facility in Lakewood and participate there. A little bit different for the Youth Development League, the YDL is what we call it. That development league, it is a practice play model on Sunday mornings. So everything takes place at our facility in Lakewood. So there will be no practices at any other location. Everything will take place. Now, there is one exception to that. Sometimes there will be full teams that come and participate in that league. And if they want to conduct a tryouts, or I'm sorry, practice offsites during the week, that's fine. They're able to do that. It just won't be at our facility. So I don't know if that answers some questions. I want to go back up here on these questions.
In regard to Evergreen, just to let you know, we have not had a confirmation that Evergreen will be competing in our, or will be participating in our league. The closest area to that, Conifer, is having tryouts August 18th, and I will get those posted. She just sent them to me this morning right before we got on. We're hoping Evergreen does. We just have not heard either way if they will or not.
Hey, Jeff, I'm going to start reading questions so you don't have to worry about the chat. But
Sure.
by the way,
I'm
I'm
trying to read
Megan.
them as
It's
we
okay.
go.
I'm Megan. I'm the marketing director here at Gold Crown. I'm helping out our program guys today. But you want to touch base on kind of the levels of play. Like the example was they've played South Suburban in the past at a summer camp. Would you recommend that child trying out for competitive or staying with rec?
Yeah. So all these tryouts, it's anybody's welcome to these tryouts. They're open to the general public. And obviously the Dakota Ridge people, for example, they're wanting Dakota Ridge kids, but I'm sure that they'd be more than happy to take really anybody in that general area. Anyways, those are welcome for, new players can attend those tryouts. Obviously experienced players can attend those tryouts. If for some reason your player does not make a team, that's when they would then sign up for the development league. So somebody in that situation, somebody with some experience, I would definitely suggest that they attend a tryouts if there's one near them that they want to participate with. And if, like I said, if for whatever reason they don't make that team, that youth development league is always there. And like I said, we'll find a team for that player in that situation. So hopefully that answers that question.
Next one is about boys playing in competitive league or only in the development league.
Boys are welcome in either league. Either league, they are welcome. It's our competitive league is, it's directed at it's for girls. Both of them are technically directed for girls, but about 6-7 years ago, we realized that more and more boys were participating. And we obviously want to provide them the opportunity. We've never had a full team of boys that have wanted to participate, but there's always, maybe a couple friends that want to play, and we'll find them a home. Like I said, if they go to tryouts and they're able to play on, I know we've been using Dakota Ridge as an example, but if they try out for Dakota Ridge and they are able to make that team, great. If not, sign up for the youth development league and we will find them a home.
We had about 8 boys last year and they
Yeah.
really had fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like a couple on each team that was in our developmental league. I can't remember the competitive league, but they really did have fun with it.
Okay. Next question is, this is in regards that there will be teams from Golden. So they will be
Yay,
getting your
thank you.
tryouts soon. And then this is about kind of registration for the competitive league. So do the participants register first with Gold Crown, or do they register with Golden, and kind of maybe walk through the registration process on the competitive league side?
Yep, from the competitive league side. So the first step is we ask that the coach register the team. That is it's a free step. There's no money exchange during this process for the coach. The coach will either create an account and register, or if they don't have an account, they will obviously, did I just say that? Create an account, or if they already have an account, they just log in and register the team. And so what they'll do from there is then we use Team Sideline as our platform, our registration platform. Once the coaches registered the team, then there will be steps following that where they will then invite via email, they will invite players to register, pay, and those players will automatically be on their roster, essentially. So Team Sideline, the technology behind that, they do all that behind the scenes. We don't really have anything to do with that, but it's very important that the coach, invites those players to come and register, and then the parents will, like I said, register or create an account if they don't have one already, and pay, and then that's how they get associated with that team. But again, the first step is for the coach to register. If you're a player and you're already on a team, we just ask that you sit tight, wait for that communication from your coach. If you're a new player and you want to play competitive league, again, go to the tryouts first, try to get affiliated with the team, get associated with the team, and then go from there. If it doesn't work out, the Youth Development League is a separate registration. It's a separate page on our website. Once you register there, you're done, right? And then about, maybe 3-4 days before that league starts, we will then conduct or compile, I should say, rosters, and then we will post those rosters. So that, again, that's for the Youth Development League. I see here, what are dates for play and practices? So for the Youth Development League, that is a practice play model for the Youth Development League. Those take place on Sunday mornings. Oh gosh, I don't have. Okay.
It's September 24th through October 29th. The 5th through and 6th graders will practice from 8 to 8:45, and then they'll have games from 9 to 9:45, and the 7th and 8th graders will practice 10 to 10:45 and have games 11 to 11:45. And again, the competitive league, that runs the afternoon from 12:30 to 8:30. They'll play games only at Gold Crown. They will get their own practices through their teams, either at their schools or other areas. But they could probably, well, maybe not get gym time at Gold Crown, but we don't supply that. It's separate. The competitive league is separate. The only practice time we supply is for the development.
Correct. Yep.
Which, just to kind of carry on that, is why typically that's why players usually play in their feeder area. I know there was one question about do they have to play for their neighborhood? They don't, but you can play for any team you want, but typically people play for their area so they can have practices and be around kids. So
yep. We had a preloaded or predetermined question. How does someone start a team? So, if you're a mom or a dad and, your daughter is really into volleyball and she has some friends and that sort of thing, you don't really need to go through anything formal. You just need to let us know. Obviously, there's a minimum you need to have on your roster, which is 8. You need to have at least 8 players. But you can participate in the competitive league. There's nothing that says, there can even be a group of girls. I'll use Columbine as an example, right? They may not have a feeder program in place, but if you're a mom or dad and you have a bunch of kids that are in that general area and you want to play, you can call yourself Columbine and register for the competitive league. So again, like April just alluded to, you'll need to figure out the practice time, because that's the difference between the competitive league and the youth development league. But if you have your own practice time, so one thing that is worth noting, both leagues we do provide insurance for. So if you are a competitive league team and you want to say use Columbine High School as the place you want to practice, I don't think that they would rent that out to anybody, but as an example, we provide insurance for that facility, so you don't need to go out and buy more insurance. We provide that because every facility will ask that. Another thing that is included in both of our leagues is a jersey. We will provide jerseys for all the players, so you don't need to go out and pay more for jerseys. If you have your own jerseys and you want to wear that's perfectly fine. So those are a couple things that are included in the fee. Let's see here. So, if you want to read that one.
Yeah, so the question is, if someone registers for a competitive team through an invite and doesn't make the team and they don't have a team, do they have other local teams they can reach out to? So I believe the coaches will, I believe tryouts will be in advance. Our deadline is September 9th, and I imagine they'll be before that. And then the coaches, if you make the team, they'll send an invite. We can absolutely give you other information. Like I said, we're trying to get the tryouts posted as soon as possible. And then, you know, if teams don't have enough people or they're short one, we can give you that information. And then a good fallback again is do the developmental league. We know it's called developmental, it's not the competitive league, but it is still fun. And another aspect of the developmental league, I had a question earlier, you can put a whole team in the developmental league too. If you have a group of kids that don't have a ton of experience, want to play together, and you want to coach, that would be great. We would take that as well. We can't always honor requests, but for that, we absolutely would do our best. So that's another option as well. But I do think, Chris, that they will not send the invite until they have the rosters made.
Yeah. I see a question here about Denver area. So DPS, they're kind of hit or miss with their programs right now. I would probably direct most people to the Denver South feeder program. They've had a very strong program over the past several years, and they do things really well there. So I would probably suggest that. And Monica, if you need that contact information, maybe reach out to April or I after this. We can share that information with you. You know, via email. So let's see here.
I just was gonna hop in real quick, Jeff. I know we call them tryouts, but you can also look at them as team placements. Like we encourage teams to take as many players as they can accommodate. And it is just an open session. So you might not know who's coming in advance. I think some groups maybe do a pre-registration just to get basic contact information. That's not required or anything, but I don't know if April, Jeff, you have any other tips of what other groups have done when they're forming their or starting their tryouts. Talking to the schools is always a good place to start too.
Yeah, for sure. She's right. And we do encourage all these programs to not necessarily cut kids. And honestly, over the past several years, I don't really recall hearing anybody ever being cut. It is more of a placement thing, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And again, if your player does not make one of those teams, this development league is great. The development league, I think the past 2 or 3 years, we've averaged, 200 to 300 kids that will participate in that league. So there's still plenty of players that participate there. And it's great. The kids love it. It's obviously a minimal commitment of Sunday mornings only. And so if that's what fits your needs, that's great. Determining whether or not your kid should be in the development league or the competitive league, that's kind of up to you guys. Obviously competitive is the better of the two, but if you do want that minimal commitment and you just want to play on Sunday mornings, that works, right? If your player's brand new and maybe in 6th grade or on the younger end, I would maybe suggest starting in that development league, and hopefully they progress to the competitive league eventually. So I don't know if that answers some of the questions.
Okay.
Yes. So insurance, Mary, yeah. So insurance is provided by Gold Crown, even if the teams practice in another gym. Yes, we do provide that. So
I can send you the certificate, Mary.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a certificate and it'll work at any of the places. Yeah.
And honestly, if you're in Jeffco, most Jeffco schools probably already have our insurance. But if for whatever reason they don't, just let us know. It's just a certificate that we can mail you that you can share with them.
And I know Jeff kind of touched on this, but just to let you guys know, we want everyone to play. Like our goal is to place every kid. And so if we're going to try our best to put you in the right direction, whether it's a competitive team or a developmental team, but we want these kids to play. That's what we do. We're here for the kids. And so we are working hard. I mean, I'm trying to work really hard to get, find out these teams and stuff. And if you guys have any great ideas, please let me know. Because again, I'm new at this and I'm open to ideas. But we really want your kids playing. So we will do our best to get them on a team.
April's done a great job over the summer. She's reached out to a lot of new schools, trying to get feeder programs started in areas that, during COVID, it was tough. And, programs like this, they took a hit because, people just didn't want to continue after COVID for whatever reason. And so April's done a great job at trying to kind of get things going back in those certain pockets or those areas. Obviously we are deep rooted in Jeffco because we are in Jeffco, but Denver and Douglas County and even up north, Adams County, Adams 5-star and Boulder area. Those are areas that we plan to attack and get more and more teams started. It takes a lot of effort and obviously takes a lot of people within those communities to start. But that's our objective. So I do see, just to clarify, you have to, so tomorrow, April or I will post all, on our tryout page, we will post all the programs that we know of that will have teams or said that they're going to have teams, right? So we are kind of at the mercy of that. If they tell us that they're going to have teams and they end up not, again, we're at the mercy of what they tell us, but we can post that. Like April and I are talking about, we don't necessarily have tryout information for everybody. There's only a few that we do have right now, but we will start posting that on our tryout page. Megan, if you don't mind, maybe share a link to our tryout page in the chat.
I did, yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. And yeah, just what I would suggest, and I tell people often, is check that tryout page periodically. Maybe every 2 or 3 days, try to make a mental note of just checking back on that page, because once we get them, we post them. And sometimes they're a month out, the program gives us a month heads up. Sometimes they only give us 3 or 4 days heads up. So like I said, we're kind of at the mercy of the programs when that happens, but that's what I would suggest, is checking our tryout page periodically.
And I would say too, if you, whatever school your child is at, you can always check with like the gym teacher there, the activities director, and see if they know anything about getting a team together or tryouts. And you can always connect them with April or Jeff. So if they want to help start a team. So that's also something to keep in mind if you're feeling frustrated with not being able to find a team in your area.
Yeah, so Mary, I believe this is Mary Abbott. She's with Golden. She's typing right now in the chat line. So
for t-shirts or tank tops, kind of like that, but I could wear with something like these kind of bottoms.
And I love how long these ones are. It's like,
oh, I think that was a muted thing. But anyways,
that was an accident.
Mary's with Golden, and she's talking about how word of mouth is big with getting the word out for these things. So like April or Megan was just talking about, your daughter, she's at school, have her friends know, tell her friends. My brother, he coached the Ralston Valley team last year, and it was just with his daughter and a bunch of her friends, and it worked out. They had a great time, awesome experience. So it doesn't need to be something super formal. It doesn't need to be something that, you need to rely on a bunch of other resources. You can figure it out yourself. Like I said, finding practice time is probably going to be the biggest hurdle that you'll face. But other than that, we're here for support. And one other thing I want to mention, a little bit off topic, but not really. We do hire high school players to referee our leagues. So if you have a former player or somebody that definitely let us know on that, because we hire them, we pay them. It's a good experience for them. Peachtree, yeah. So yeah, Mary's talking about on Peachtree. They through Jeffco. Megan, maybe actually I'll turn this over to you. You know a little bit more about Peachtree than I do.
Yeah, I think Peach Jar,
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It is a newsletter that if you are in Jeffco schools, every parent gets it. And a lot of times the local groups will post in that newsletter about when tryouts are. We have our flyer in there just for general recruitment, but that's a great place to look. Let's say you're in the Golden area. One, if you're a coordinator, you can reach out to Jeffco to have them place it in there. And two, if you're a parent, I would definitely recommend looking there because they will post those for free.
Thanks. So Karina, yeah, unfortunately, our coaches are volunteer coaches for both of our leagues. Unfortunately, we just don't have the funds to pay our coaches. you know, a long time ago, we decided that it was more important to keep the cost down per player. You know, obviously there are programs out there that do pay coaches, and I do know that there are some programs that will charge their parents an additional fee so they can pay their coaches. But unfortunately, we can't do that internally on our end. We just don't have those funds, being a nonprofit. So sorry, I do, Karina. I know you've coached for a handful of years now. We do appreciate all your time. So any other questions that somebody might have? We are recording this and we are going to post this for later. You know, and I do want to emphasize, you know, it's obviously August 1st. This is notoriously the beginning of August is kind of when things really start to pick up some steam for our leagues. I think it's just, like I said, because people are like, holy cow, it's August and school's going to be starting back up here in a minute. And you know, when things get going, you know, tryouts are going to be posted, and you know, we've obviously posted our contact information on here. So if there is any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to reach out. April or myself can help you. It is worth noting real quick that April might be hard to get a hold of via phone because we are doing some pretty big renovations over at the field house this month, and her phone is not working. So, but she can be reached via email. And,
Yeah, email me and I can call you back from my cell phone.
Yeah.
Like for sure. But I mean, any questions, if you guys have follow-up, if we weren't clear on anything, if you just need some more information, please let us know. If you have any great ideas, I mean, we're open. Like, just please let us know what we can do to help get your child on a team, because
Yeah.
that's what we want to do.
Yeah. Well, we'll kind of stick around for a little bit longer. Monica's asking for our email. Megan, it's tough for me to type. Do you mind adding our personal emails in there? I know you put, so sports@goldcrownfoundation.com is kind of the catch-all email, but we each have our own individual email addresses that Megan, looks like Megan's posting right now. So again, feel free to reach out to us personally, and you know, we're always around, and like Megan or April just said, we want to figure out ways to get everybody in the right spot, playing in our program, and obviously have a great experience. So appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully doing the 12 o'clock hour, we caught you during your lunch hour. That was kind of some strategy. We thought either noon or do we do it in the evening? And obviously evening, everybody's hanging out with their kids, doing that sort of stuff. So we thought during our lunch hour would be best. So and if you have some good feedback on this, please let us know. We may offer more of these in the future, just to kind of help everybody answer their questions and listen to some other common questions that other people are having. So, but yeah, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Karina. We're excited too. I think it's going to be a great season. So thank you guys so much.